Hello again, everybody. I'm Roger Hoover. Glad to welcome you back to the Crimson Tide Sports Network, and it's time to talk some Alabama soccer. It is time for Wes Hart Live, presented by Alabama Power. And, Coach, it's great to see you as Alabama is coming off a home match. It was good to be back in Tuscaloosa, I'm sure, taking on the third-ranked Arkansas Razorbacks and really pushing them to the limit.
Yeah, absolutely. Great being back home after a couple games on the road, and I thought the game against Arkansas went well. Obviously the result at the end didn't go our way, but pretty pleased with the game overall.
You look at Arkansas getting a 1-0 lead off a corner kick, and then about 14 minutes later, one of the real goals of the year for your team from Macy Clem. Just can you walk us through that play? She was right around the goal, and then that crazy bicycle kick in the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, was really happy with how the team responded after going down a goal. It was actually kind of the first time all season really where we went down, and I thought we responded well. And had a nice little build-up play. Probably connected 7-8 passes in a row, and they're attacking third. And then it ended with a great goal from Macy. So I think her initial shot got blocked, and then she kind of improvised from there, and didn't really have many options. So she decided to kind of kick it over her head a little bit, and fortunately she kind of caught the goalkeeper out of position and scored a wonderful goal.
Yeah, it certainly was. So that tied the match 1-1, and then you come right back for the second period, and no goals are scored by Arkansas or Alabama. What'd you see in that 45 minutes?
Yeah, second half I thought was a good half as well, and we were certainly under pressure. I mean, that's what Arkansas does to you. They come at you and press you defensively and turn you over, and then on the other side of the ball, they're constantly stretching your back line, putting in balls behind you, and I thought we did a good job of kind of absorbing that pressure, and we didn't create as many chances as I would have liked to have, but still we had a few looks in and around the goal, and for the most part I thought we kind of kept them at bay as much as you can keep Arkansas at bay, and headed in the overtime we felt good about things.
Yeah, what was the focus of your meeting with the team right before overtime, and then Arkansas is able to score quickly in the first minute?
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't. We ended up putting Serena Pham out on the left side. We thought, she came in as a sub in the first and in the second half, and I thought she added, a lot of punch. She gives us more of an offensive threat, offensive weapon, and so we went back to Serena, thinking that okay, let's kind of put the pressure on Arkansas. Let's get Serena involved again, and unfortunately, we didn't get to that point. They scored directly off the kickoff. Kind of a mistake on our part. I think our back line was a little bit too high. We knew that they were dumping that ball into the corner, but the girl that dumped it in got a little. She got a hold of the ball a little more than our back line expected, and it went over our head, and they just were able to kind of press us from there, and really weren't able to get out of our end. But going into it, our focus was let's be the aggressor and let's get after them. But unfortunately, we just never got that opportunity.
In a lot of ways, though, are you proud of the defensive effort from the Crimson Tide, able to shut down two really good goal scorers and Apata Jill, Parker Goins? Then McKinley Crone, as your keeper, had a lot of big stops in that match.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the tough part about Arkansas. They just have so many darn weapons. You shut down one or two, and they get you with someone else. And so, I think we did a fantastic job. And Anna Potagil and Parker Goins are both incredible, players that, they certainly got a look or two throughout the game. You're not going to completely, deny them looks, but for the most part, we did do a good job on them. But as I said, if you shut down someone on Arkansas, there's another player that can get you, and that's what happened on the day.
It was also good for the Crimson Tide to see Carly Wyatt back on the pitch as well as Riley Mattingly. Were you pleased with the minutes they had, and could we see them back in maybe a starting role coming up later this week?
Yeah, absolutely. We knew going into the match. I mean, they had 0 practices going into the match. And as much as I wanted to use them, even more throughout the game, I resisted, and I kind of going into the game thought that, hey, let's try to get them, 15, 20 minutes just to kind of get them back into the swing of things. And they're both quality players that I knew at any given moment could give us a spark. But I certainly didn't want to ride them too much and put them at risk for injury or anything like that. So I thought they both gave us some quality minutes, which allowed us to rest some players. But yeah, we kind of knew what we'd be getting from them, and really weren't trying to rely too heavily on them in that game. But now that they're back, they'll get a full week of training this week, and then they'll be ready to go against Ole Miss.
It's hard to believe with this new schedule this year with all the COVID-19 protocols, but we're at the midway point of the season. You have 8 matches and we've already played 4. What would be your kind of midterm analysis of this Alabama team right now?
Well, overall, I think the effort and the play has been good. Results, not so much. But I don't know. We've had some good opponents, right? I mean, we've gone to overtime against the number 3 team in the country. You go to Florida, which is not an easy place for anyone to play. They're always very good at home, and so those are the 2 losses on the season. I don't want to say it gets easier from here because obviously our next 2 games against Ole Miss and LSU, and those are teams that are desperate to win games. But it's we've I guess overall I think we're in a good place, no doubt about it.
You mentioned Ole Miss, and that's the next opponent for the Crimson Tide coming up on Sunday at the Alabama Soccer Stadium. They play tonight against Auburn, but what have you seen from Matthew Mott's team so far this year, and what kind of match do you expect on Sunday?
Yeah, Matt's a great coach that always has his team, very well organized. He's always got a good game plan. So, we expect a tough game against Ole Miss. They've played us tough at home the past few times here. He's got some players. Channing Foster is a forward on his team that she's a handful. I don't believe she's scored a goal yet this season. But at any moment, she could go off. So she's someone that we will definitely need to keep an eye on. They've got some quality midfielders. Got a very good goalkeeper. So we know that they're going to be a tough opponent. And they're going to be up for this match, and hopefully we will as well.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us. Best of luck this week in training, getting ready for the Ole Miss Rebels. Roll Tide.
Awesome. Roll Tide, Roger.
All right, that was Alabama soccer coach Wes Hart. Thank you for joining us on the Crimson Tide Sports Network.